I made this observation a few years ago, and I would like to share it with you because it relates to something that is taking place in the modern world that is very intriguing. They have all collectively arrived at the conclusion that men have been fighting a losing battle against women, which is causing them to slowly withdraw from the dating market. Here's what's happening: successful, high-value men and those in positions of power are withdrawing from the dating market. I'll explain why, but first let's take a look at how dynamics shifted and newer philosophies emerged in the 1970s and 1980s. Things started to change after the free love craze of the 1960s, and in the late 1990s and 2000s, women were left unleashed to act in accordance with their true nature. As more time passed, various online forums appeared, and the concept of pickup artistry began to gain popularity. Clearly, men had figured out that there was a way to understand the nature of women and use that knowledge to their advantage. At the same time that new subreddits and communities emerged, social dynamics began to shift, and women gained an increasing number of advantages. These debates continued for at least 8 years, during which time men from all over the world discussed the nature of women and the degree to which things had deteriorated. Men from all walks of life have realized how poor the risk-to-reward ratio is when it comes to dealing with women as a whole, and they've banded together to discuss it. The media despises it, but it's opened up human nature. So the red pill is taken, it becomes popular, and it's an entire philosophy. However, if you discuss the red pill with anyone, they will begin to agree with you. Millions of people have tried to disprove red pill theories, but in the end, these theories always seem to prove themselves to be correct. The world is currently revealing all of its true colors. Women are now more likely to prevail in divorce proceedings, which has led to men who wield significant power and wealth, such as Johnny Depp, seeing their wealth and power eroded as a result of the legal system. It is absolutely mind-boggling to see how far the world has come, to the point where even famous and powerful men are beginning to understand what a risky game they are playing. The things that are going on these days: there was a time when wealthy men were untouchable. Non-people who have enjoyed years of fame and power are losing their jobs because of something a woman said. Even wealthy and powerful men are coming to the realization that they are no longer safe and are adopting red pill philosophies as a result. Vince McMahon was just recently the victim of such an attack. You'll notice that a lot of gurus and internet personalities, like Andrew Tate, end up in control of the situation. People like him end up getting banned because they bring attention to the red pill, and the media simply can't afford to have that. Even if you've worked hard for years to build up your wealth and connections, all it takes is one woman's word to bring you to your knees in this society where women wield unrivaled power over their male counterparts. How long do you think it will take for men to completely realize the truth about the behavior of women, assuming that we take the red pill as the ultimate conclusion that a lot of men came up with as a final philosophy regarding human behavior? When you see guys like Andrew Tate getting a lot of traction and likes from people all over the world, you realize that the time has come for men all over the world to see women for who and what they really are. This time will not be far off, and having this knowledge helps explain why a significant number of men of high value are choosing to withdraw from the labor force. They have simply realized their mistake and realized that the dynamics of wealth are not what they used to be, and that scandals and rape accusations have the potential to bring their entire lives to an end. There is only one significant thing that has not changed, and that is the fact that men in the MGTOW movement are still guided by their biological tendencies. Things in MGTOW have already evolved. For many of these men, the mental value they can provide is more important than the biological value that a woman can provide, and as a result, they have completely given up on women. The majority of these men are content to live a life with no women at all. A woman who is their partner on mental equal is much more important to men like these than the concept of sleeping with other women. Men like these want a happy family with a traditional mature wife, but that seems to be impossible in today's society. They have consequently arrived at the conclusion that this issue is unrelated to females. When each of us reaches this realization, when we are able to look beyond our biological tendencies and realize what is actually happening to us, I believe that will be the most significant moment for all men and will be the most powerful moment for men in general. Out there, only then will it be possible for the power that women have over us to become insignificant, and only then can we let them know that mental ability is more important than anything else. A woman can provide the real reason for the imbalance that exists in the market for dating at this time, which is because women are not on the bargaining end of the market. They are the ones at the top declaring their values and standards, and men try to compete for them, and those who make it leave the rest in their wake. This is how the marketplace has been functioning for the past 20 years. Imagine for a moment that men finally started acting like men instead of acting like they were asleep. Imagine that every time a woman used her body to get favors and exercise control, a man asked her what he was supposed to do all of this just so that I can sleep with you for 3 minutes of pointless pleasure? You must be completely insane. This is the future for me if I choose to view things through a more optimistic perspective. I see a large number of men leading the labor force, and the greatest loss will occur when high-value men, such as actors and millionaires, leave the workforce because they are aware of the risk-to-reward ratio associated with sleeping around with women and have made the decision to avoid it. When these high-level players leave, the remaining women will have no choice but to acknowledge their positions. They will be forced to compete for the attention of men who no longer want them. And if there's one thing that everyone agrees on, it's that women will never achieve true power, which includes things like wealth and influence. When compared to the fact that the majority of male billionaires and millionaires are self-made, the majority of female millionaires were either born into it or obtained it through divorce laws. This is in contrast to the fact that the majority of male billionaires and millionaires are self-made. You are already aware of the solution, so I won't even bother explaining it. Statistics such as these are becoming more and clearer with each passing day, and the real good news is that market alphas are also noticing these trends. They are now placing themselves in the same category as the rest of us men. Women are becoming increasingly selective on a daily basis. The alpha females of the marketplace decide the dynamics of the dates they set up for their Leviathan droves, and those men whom women choose as their partners end up having their lives ruined as a result. I don't know about you guys, but I've decided to go full MGTOW for a very long time with these men because, as you probably already know, there isn't all that much to do around here. If you're a young man and your hormones are driving you crazy, just give it a few more years, and you'll see how desperate the women really are to get married and start a family. If the MGTOW continues to rise at the current rate, men will start to wonder what all the fuss was about with women, and in their spare time, they will spend their time working on projects, participating in sports, and keeping their bodies in shape. Many men are now coming to the realization that this is the case, and they are enjoying the sense of inner peace that comes along with it. A good number of men of high value have been practicing this for a considerable amount of time. Perhaps they will purchase a new drone and work on their photography project. All of that money was going to be wasted on dinner dates anyway. Look at how Leo DiCaprio continually dates different women every 5 years and refuses to settle down. Then consider how the lives of men who marry are deteriorating on a daily basis. In addition, the age of marriage is increasing, and more people are talking about divorce law than ever before. Men, particularly wealthy men, are beginning to awaken to the reality that they are caught in a trap as a result of this trend. As a final remark, I would like to point out how ironic it is that in the quest for power and ascending the ranks, women have sacrificed their own power by creating discriminatory laws and making women the target of discrimination. The most powerful gender in offices and the media, they have achieved the opposite. They have worked men up to the point where they are likely to waste their lives doing nothing, and have worked men up to the point where they have worked men up. In a sense, women are responsible for their own demise because they have insulted, cheated, and stolen from men in the world. These men, in turn, take the red pill and contribute to the most successful men's rights movement in the history of the world. They took a flawless ecosystem consisting of bidders who could have provided them with flawless lives, acted as if she were a queen, and then they urinated all over it. These guys have grown up, realized their mistakes, and bowed out of the competition. Lesson learned, guys, always remember to keep it GTFO and don't put women on a pedestal. They are not worth it.